I mean, I might turn this to a series, during the summertime, just kind of talking b-ball to myself, pretty much rambling. But I think the Trailblazers have a pretty interesting offseason, and I made a short about it, but then I kind of realized I couldn't really fit everything I wanted to say about the Trailblazers into like 60 seconds or maybe even 3 minutes. So maybe I just needed to, get in the ramble style video to talk about the Trailblazers. They weren't good last year. They really haven't been good like that outside of the Western Conference Series with the Warriors. Was that like 2019? And a lot of people have been saying, "Oh, Dame, just trade Dame." And at a point in time, I was on the okay, maybe we should trade Dame train, but when you get a guy like Damian Lillard, who is the superstar, who can average 30 points in this league, he's getting up there in age, but you know, in the league we are in today, a lot of these guys just simply aren't staying, bro. They're leaving after the first seven. You just see a guy like Dame try to stick it out. I have to respect that. But the thing is, with Dame being older now, what is he, like 33, 34? He's older. He came into the league older. With Dame being older, I think that, I just don't see a path to a title contention, even if it's trading for Zion Williamson, which seems like a lot of people, Zion or BI. There's Damian Lillard, Zion, Jeremy Grant, Anthony Simons. That's a good team. But is that a championship team? No. Maybe it's a team that can get out the first round. Who knows if Zion even plays? Dame is, he didn't play the last second half, and he wasn't particularly good last year. Like, for a Dame Lillard standpoint, I really do appreciate a guy who's going to stick it out with his team, not run from the grind. I appreciate that, man. But on the Trailblazers side, trading this number 3 pick could be really risky. And that's all I would say because, Scoot Henderson, look, the guy's probably, he has all NBA, all league potential. He can, and giving that up for a couple more cracks at maybe a Western Conference Finals run. But, okay, my thing I could see, well, maybe the Trailblazers are thinking about it like, we're in a parity-driven league where, there's no team that's really, dominant right now. So maybe the Trailblazers think, hey, and I think trading Anthony Simons is a good thing just simply because Anthony Simons and Dame is never going to work. And is Anthony Simons an all-star guard? Probably not. Anthony Simons and Dame is just CJ McCollum and Dame 2.0. So I do think they should trade him. You still got Shaedon Sharpe, you still got Keon Johnson for whatever. People still believe in him. I still think he can be good. So they have a lot going on. I like the idea of Zion in Portland. I do. I don't think they should trade for Bill. But if they're going to try to make this work with Dame, and like I always say, if you got a guy who's willing to stick it out, through the grind, he could have been left. Nobody would have blamed Dame if he would have left 3 years ago. Most, your favorite superstar, he probably would have left already, which, you can't blame him for that. But I think they really tried last year, but, Dame was kind of banged up. Hopefully, if, hypothetically speaking, they trade for Zion Williamson, right? Which is seeming like a trade. Anthony Simons in the 3rd pick for Zion Williamson, maybe. I'm not sure. Then you got Dame, maybe Shaedon Sharpe, Jeremy Grant, Zion Williamson, and Nurkic. That's a playoff team. That's like a 5 seed, That's a good team. And that team does have potential, but how many years of elite player are we going to get from Dame? Yeah, he was kind of banged up last year, but the man still wasn't good. He was 23 points on like 40% from the field. That has to mean something. And that's the only thing I would fight it is, and maybe you think about like, hey, and then we got Zion or BI. I don't really think he's a trade for BI. The Trailblazers is probably stuck in mediocrity. Can Damian Lillard be the best player of the championship team? And that probably just what it comes down to, And I'm not sure. He's a great player. His playoff career is overrated. He's had his ups and downs in the playoffs, but it's hard, man. When I look at a guy like Dame, and this kind of also relates back to the other topic I wanted to get to, Jimmy Butler. He's going to get killed this offseason, obviously. They're going to say he's a fraud, he's this, he's that. I respect Jimmy Butler for what he did. A lot of people called him dumb. They were saying he didn't care about winning because he went to Miami, and, he wasn't. A lot of people didn't even think they would be a playoff team, and he took that team and that culture, and they've been to in 4 years, they've been to the finals 2 times and the conference finals 3 times. Once again, I got to respect him, and I got to tilt my hat because, he could have just went and he could have went to be a sidekick, He could have went to a better team, more talented team, but he stuck it out with the team he had, and I do appreciate that. I think Miami needs to grab another scoring guard, man. I really think Bradley Beal could be really good for Miami, and I'm not even the biggest Bradley Beal guy, but I think trying to get a Bradley Beal is interesting, get Jimmy another scorer, because if you watched it, when Jimmy couldn't get it going, all these guys, they couldn't get it going. Matt Scruss, he couldn't get it going. Caleb Martin, he couldn't get it going. What's the other guy who plays with Matt Scruss? Gabe Vincent couldn't get it going. Duncan Robinson was off and on, hot and cold, and he just needs another consistent scoring option, and sure, that's Tyler Hero, but I think Bradley Beal might be a better version of Tyler Hero. I do think the time period where they wouldn't trade Tyler Hero for James Harden is crazy looking back at it now, but I think Miami could be they could be right back in the finals next year. The East is wide open. The Bucks are coming back. The Bucks have potential to win the last 2 rings. They've been banged up every year. We might get a healthy Bucks team next year. Who knows what happened with the Cleveland team? It's a lot of things that could happen. Hey, the next team could go grab a star, and they could be right there competing too. So it's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in Miami, but Dame and Jimmy are guys. Probably disrespect the guys, but I kind of see the parallels. I wouldn't even mind Dame being in Miami. Not sure how they'll get that done, but overall with Miami, they had a great run. First of all, they have a great run, and a lot of people trying to discredit it. Oh, Tatum got injured. Oh, they played the Knicks. Oh, Giannis got injured. Bro, stop it, bro. Because even when Giannis wasn't playing, they were still picking the Bucks to win. The Bucks were still favorites, even though, now they almost blew that 3-0 lead, but no one in their right mind had the Heat beating the Celtics this year. They thought, and the Celtics are another team that, I'm always kind of iffy about, but, I got to give respect to Jimmy, man. He balled out, man. He wasn't super Jimmy since the Bucks series, but he put up superstar numbers, 26 points. Yeah, it wasn't the 56. It wasn't the 37 he was averaging versus the Bucks, okay? But he's really good. And, it's kind of easy to scheme for a guy like that when it's just, if it's just you on a team, it can be easier to scheme for just because, it's just you, man. But that's pretty much all I had to get off my chest, man. Just a little ramble about, I guess, Dame and Jimmy, the future of the Blazers and the future of the Heat, I guess. Like, subscribe, follow, whatever, all that other stuff, all that good stuff, man. Peace.